Hi there folks, so we're looking at 5 basics of the Christian life, helpful for everyone really to hear about these basics. We've learnt that we've been chosen, that we've been called by God, that we've been forgiven through Jesus, and now we learn that we've been justified. If you're a Christian, you've been justified. Romans 8 verse 30 tells the story that we've been telling this week really. Romans 8 verse 30 says, and those he predestined, those he chose, we learnt about that. Those he predestined, he also called. We learnt about that too. He called you. Those he predestined, he also called. And those he called, he also justified. Those he called, he also justified. If you've had that experience that you've been called, you've been drawn to the Father through Jesus by the Spirit, you've been justified. You've been justified. Now, what does that mean? Well, the idea of being justified, the idea of justification by faith, all of this takes us to the court of law. And we realise, as the Bible so clearly teaches, that we are in the court of law and that we stand guilty. We've been declared guilty before a good and loving and beautiful and holy and pure and perfect God. We are guilty. But the wonderful thing about Christianity is that those of us, all of us who are guilty, well, Jesus has come to take that guilt on himself. That's what he does on the cross. But not only to take the guilt away so that we're no longer declared to be guilty, but then, amazingly, Jesus also makes it so that we are declared to be innocent. He takes the "you're guilty" on himself, and he makes it so that we're then covered with his perfection, his innocent, not guilty, so that we have a right standing before God the Father. We can stand before him counted as justified, as right before him, as righteous, if you like, even though we aren't really. But that's what Jesus has achieved for us, so that we can stand before this wonderful God justified. So 5 basics of the Christian life. You have been justified.